since you said about this on the materialistic growth and designation, some people will say, Surya Dada, you have already grown like that, right? You have already grown to the peak. You are already so successful, right? So the moment you are at a very high level, being a head in L&D in Wipro, right? Is somewhere people think that, oh, since you have reached to that level, so you've already grown materialistically, then you can say that, right? But I am just a software engineer, I am just a technical lead, I am just a director or whatever it is, right? So so how do I bring a balance between that worldly success that most of us are looking for, and also on the other hand, I can bring in the elements of spirituality, which can make me a better human being, which can help me optimize myself, which can help me in my personal growth, so that I am growing in the worldly terms, also in my designations, in my growth, and also on the other hand, I understand the significance of it. Not that I'm growing just for the sake of show off. I'm growing so that I can make an impact on the society, right? So somewhere, how can we if you can elaborate this connection between these two things, materialistic growth and spiritual growth, and maybe you can connect with your life also, because you have been a great example on this.
So yeah, while some people might say that I have grown and things like that, but 20 years ago I was me myself, and today I'm me and myself. So there could have some titles that may have come along the way. There could have been some awards, rewards that might have come along the way, but I have none of them. I am not my title. I am not my position. I am not the award that I have won, etc. I am myself, and I'm on the journey. I'm a journey to evolve. I think that's the whole objective. Now coming back to the worldly results and outcomes, etc. I think there is a management guru who talked about something very interesting. He said, performance. He said the performance is equal to potential minus interference. So performance or success or achievement is equal to potential minus interference. All of us believe that every human being has come to this earth with unlimited potential, infinite potential, infinite possibilities. So there's no dearth of potential in human being. And but the question is, the equation that we just talked about is potential minus interference. So potential alone doesn't take one to success because there is something that comes on the way, which is interference. So for us to achieve success, worldly success or spiritual success, so success is in any aspect of life, what is important for us is to continuously expand and enhance our potential and continuously reduce the interference, right? But the challenge today, unfortunately, is many people in this world don't even know what their potential is. They lack that self-awareness. A child wants to become a musician, parents force him to become an engineer, a computer engineer, computer scientist. Um, a child wants to become a sports person, parents force him to study physics. So, and sometimes the child himself or herself doesn't know what is his or her potential.
Right.
So, potential, knowing your potential comes through self-awareness. Spirituality helps us develop that self-awareness. If
Amazing.
I don't even know my potential, I have lost the battle. I might have come with infinite potential, but I don't know what I'm capable of. And that's what the world, the humankind is grappling today.
Amazing.
Just see there are so many people who are in the wrong field.
Right.
I was talking to a group of MBA students who are pursuing MBA in a B school. 8 out of 10 students spoke to me and they said, "Sir, we don't know why we are here and why are we pursuing this MBA program." And I asked one of the students, "What do you want to do in life?" He said, "I want to become a musician." Um, I said, "Why are you here?" He said, "I am here because all my friends joined this MBA program, and I believe an MBA program will fetch you a good career and a lot of money. That's why I'm here. But I don't enjoy this now." I said, "Then why don't you drop out?" He said, "Sir, I am the son of a middle class man. My father has put all his lifelong savings into my education. I mean, I can't let him down. So see the state of affairs today.
Amazing,
So
Zamir.
not even understanding one's potential is a disaster. Now the second thing is interference. How do you really reduce interference? So reducing interference is possible when we understand the cause of interference. Interference comes from within. It's my lack of confidence, my lack of belief in myself. It's my bad habits, indiscipline, irregulated life, my addictions, etc. These are internal interference. There are
Yeah,
external interference, which is coming from outside. People who work against me, um, the surroundings in organization, we call it organizational politics, so many other things, the events that are happening all around us, and so on. Now, the question is, how do we reduce this interference? How do
yeah,
you gain that self reliance? How do we overcome the lack of nervousness?
yeah.
How do you become confident? You need faith, isn't it? You need that leap of faith. And
Right,
where does that leap of faith come from? It comes from spiritual inclination.
right,
Without that spiritual inclination, I cannot have that leap of faith. That leap of faith comes from within. That comes from that spiritual inclination. And how do I gain control over my bad habits, addiction? We know so many people in our career. We know our friends who were the toppers in their batches in during their education in the universities, but today they are absolutely unsuccessful in their careers.
right, right,
They were the toppers. They had the best IQ. They were logically very strong. They had the domain knowledge, subject matter knowledge. They were sharp, but
right.
they were successful because they had wrong habits, bad company, addictions. There are
Right.
many sports persons who had lot of promise but have just failed miserably.
Yeah,
So
right,
how do I master, how do I gain self mastery? How do I lead a disciplined life? How do I lead a self regulated life? I need a living ideal in my life.
right, right,
I need to gain mastery over my life. I need to associate myself with a life teacher.
right.
And through that life teacher, my spiritual journey begins.
Awesome,
So my
awesome.
spiritual journey, I gain control over my bad habits, my fears, my anxieties, my addictions, and I control over my internal interferences.
Awesome,
Now,
awesome.
external interference, how do I deal with it? How do
Mm-hmm.
I deal with my colleagues, with my friends, with my competition at the workplace? How do I deal with events?
Yeah,
You know, Again, we need spirituality to gain the ability to deal with and respond to impulses,
right.
respond to situations,
Mm-hmm.
respond to impulses that I receive from the environment. My potential, my subject matter knowledge will not help me do that. You know, I will need empathy. I
Mm-hmm.
would need patience. I
Mm-hmm.
would need tolerance. I would need how to navigate through difficult situations. I
Right,
need spirituality. I need
right.
that spiritual knowledge which will help me navigate through.
Awesome, awesome. So I think each and every line that you spoke were having so much of depth and so much of nuggets were there in what you said. That reminds me, I remember the organization which I am also associated with, Peak Impact Mentorship, and we were doing a survey among almost around 500 people. You started with saying, "I am not my title, I am not my designation," and we just asked people, "Can you describe about yourself?" Surprisingly, 90% of the people just wrote down, "I am software engineer, I am banker, I am director." So the only thing they could come up with is about their designation, their title. So they are identified completely with themselves only with that title, with that badge that we get. And it's so amazing to hear from you that it's just one part of our life, right? We are not that. We are much beyond that, right? We are much beyond that. The
Yeah.
moment we tap into our inner potential, the moment we tap into this, I think somewhere we will have materialistic goals that we have, certainly, and then there will be a As you gave example of sportsmen, I think there are big names like Michael Jackson and so many others. They were such amazing people, who could have made even more impact on the society. But somewhere, since they were not disciplined, spirituality, somewhere they couldn't leverage it. They couldn't live that amazing life that they were meant for. So great. I think it's really great to hear all these things. So
But this reminds me of something because we talked about people associating themselves with their titles and
right,
positions. What people need to understand is they are not their title. These
yeah,
are their responsibilities.
right,
So if I'm playing a role in a play, I'm playing the role of a king. I'm not a king. I am
exactly,
me and my friend. But
exactly,
in that play, I have to play the role of a king so efficiently that people will think I'm a king. The
right,
audience will believe that I'm a king.
right,
I need to play that role, my part so efficiently. But I should never believe deep inside, if I know myself, I will never think I'm a king. Or
exactly,
if I play the role of a mad person in a play, I know I'm not a mad person.
yeah,
But I need to play that part so efficiently that the audience will feel that they are seeing a mad person. But
right,
deep inside, I know I'm not a mad person. So that self-awareness is extremely important. That you are not your title and position. You are
right.
yourself.
Amazing. That consciousness, that self awareness.